Okay, Biotime 8.0, it's a web-based attendance software which can work with Ethernet, Wi-Fi, GPRS and 3G to the multiple devices in remote location as well. And it has a private cloud option as an employee self-service login through the mobile application, as well as we can log in through the web browser. Okay, and it can be assigned to the multiple administrator to access the Biotime 8.0 at the same time, and it will be easy to handle the system from different HR or different department administrators. And it has a user-friendly user interface, as well as it can handle the timetable and complex roster part, and it can be getting the attendance reports for different formats. So let's go through the features. As I mentioned, it's a web-based system. It's like server side, like one server, and you can access from different place. And we have auto synchronization of the templates, like as you know, the biometric devices having different templates like fingerprint, face, palm, like this. So it can be synchronized based on an area concept. We have an area concept which will be for synchronization for as well as the individual as well as device wise. So it's very easy to handle the attendance templates, registration templates. And we can do the flexible and smart shift scheduling because we have a calendar module which will be giving the shift access, like you can handle the schedule in such a way like employee and based on department on which all days, so and so. And we have a employee self-service login in web browser as well as in mobile application. So in the web browser, all the employees can access the system using their employee ID and password. There is a default password. Once it's login, you can set the password on your own. And they can see their attendance, they can request the leave, overtime, manual punches. But don't worry, it will not go to the final approval. You need to set the approval for each employee. So the approver can see the data, whatever you entered from the employee login. Then once it's approved, it will go to the final reports. Okay, and we have email alerts, like automatic email alerts for the attendance exception as well as this approval flow. And the multiple administrator have privilege on different modules. You can create multiple roles and assign to the user groups, so they will get the access to the software in such a way like the design of the group administrator. And the level of approval, we have unlimited level, like we can create multiple level of approvals. For example, level 1 having main manager, level 2 having the supervisors, level 3 having the site like a storekeeper or site keeper. So you can handle in different multiple like different levels of approval. And this software is completely real time, running on real time. So all the devices status will be updated on the system as well as the transactions. Everything is completely transferred to the system in real time manner. And we will get the attendance calculation based on the schedule or roster that you are providing. And you will get the reports on based on these schedules. And reports can be in different formats like Excel, PDF, or Notepad, like this. And it supports multiple languages, like the software itself can convert it to different languages. And it has a default API which will help you to integrate with the third-party softwares like payroll or ERP, whatever. And it's having a mobile application which can handle the remote punches, and same way the approvers or admins can access the system using username and password, and they can see the status of their own employee. And if there is some site employees, they will see their own roster, like as a calendar view. They can see the roster view on the mobile. So it's easy to handle the system in like a remote location with some few employees. No need to fix a device. You can provide the mobile application. And all the data transfer is automatic, nothing to do manual way. And device connectivity, as I mentioned, you can use any devices which can connect through internet. And if you have VPN, it's very easy. And multiple administrator can access the system in similar anytime, any place, anywhere. And the integration of the shift, timetable, everything you can handle in the way, and admin can decide like whoever can do these jobs. And this is regarding the area concept. As I mentioned, there is an area concept which is very helpful for the data synchronization. So if you have 2 or 3 machines, for example, it supports multiple devices, more than 400 or 500 devices on a single server. So if you have multiple devices on different country, even different places, you will be having a confusion like how to sync the data. Like each country you want to allocate different employee group. So you can create multiple area, and each area you can make the devices whoever you want to synchronize each other. For example, here you can see area 1 having 2 machines, and area the device 1 will be having maybe 5 employees, and device 2 will get automatically these 5 devices once it's assigned in area 1. Similar way, if you have one new employee in device 2, just assume. So in device 2, if you add a new employee, automatically it will it will be updated on device 1. So this is the concept of area. And if you want to, if you don't want to mix the data, you can create another area which will be having different employees. And this is the complete architecture of the system. You can see we have 3 branch offices which will be having different models of devices which is connected through, it depends, if it is handheld device, it will be by 3G or Wi-Fi. If it is a fixed, it can be by LAN. And the Biotime 8.0, it's installed on the headquarters, and you can see the people who are accessing. For example, HR employees, they will be accessing for the salary purpose or attendance expo. They will be sitting in different country. Okay, so the system will be having this type of architecture which can help a centralized system. Okay, so if you have a multi-location company, you can keep the devices anywhere, as far as like anywhere, and the system will be installed on the headquarters, I mean the software and database. Only one place you need to install the software. After that, you can give the employee access to different guys using DNS address or the static public IP. So through that IP and port number, you can access the Biotime 8.0 from anywhere. Same way, the device can be connected to this using this DNS address or public IP. So the connectivity and the accessing the theme is similar, and there is no issue with the installation. Like only in one place you need to install and configure, one-time configuration. Then everything you can do from the web browser. And we will be explaining some important features. Here you can see email alerts. You can have the option to set the frequency and the timing of the email in the software. So depends on that, the email will be going to the employees as well as the approvers and administrators. You can see here if somebody is having manual punches or approval request, it will be having an email to the approver as well as the requester. So you can see the status, every status flow on the emails. And there will be emails for the attendance exceptions like late, early leave, absent, or leave. So you will get an email on these exceptions. All the employees will get a warning emails, and you can set the frequency as well. And this is regarding multiple administrator access level. You can see here, this is the login page of Biotime 8.0. You can see admin login and self-service login. So the admin login, which is used for the multiple administrator, and you can provide the access level, the role. If HR guy need to access the personnel and the department, you can tick that one. So only when they log in, they can see this part, the privileges. And this is regarding the multiple levels of approvals. You can see here, you can handle based on the position or department, and you can assign the who is the approver. So depends on that. Whenever the employee under this guy, when he requests something like leave or manual punch, it will obey the rule, obey the approval flow. Then they will get notifications by email, and they can do the approval from the system. And it is linked between position and department, the approval hierarchy. And the shifting part. Actually, the system supports complex shifting part. You can see the flexible shift. Flexible means there is no restriction of in and out timing. Any employee can come anytime, but we will provide them the total time need to be worked. So this much time if he assign, he should finish this much time. irrespective of the check-in and check-out. That is the flexible shift. And he will get overtime once he complete the time of assigned the work time. And the multiple timetable. That means if you have the split timings, for example, if you have 9 to 2 and again 5 to 10, same like shop timings. If you have that, you will be having multiple timetable. Like if you have two timetable, you can assign in a single day, which is not overlapping. That is the split timing. And auto shift. This is very important thing for the construction site or roster management systems. For example, if you have employees who are having two shift, but it will be decided by the employee. We cannot assign them like you will do morning, you will be night, something like that. So depends on their punch, it will be assigned automatically. So if a check-in is detected on the morning, the system will take it's a morning schedule, something like this. And cross day means if you have shifts starting from evening and ending at next day morning, which is in between 24 hours, it is called cross day shift. So you will be getting check-in in the evening, check-out in the morning. It's correct way you will get it on that. And temporary schedule, it's additional like attractive feature which can help you to do the temporary schedule, like short time schedule system. So if you do some schedules for a long time, but suddenly depends on the employee requirement or company requirement, you want to assign some short time schedule for the same employee. You can create some schedule as for example 5 days or 10 days, or for today you want to override. So this temporary schedule having high priority than the normal schedule. So whenever this one employee having normal schedule as well as temporary schedule, of course it will take temporary schedule. Another feature is employee self-service. As I mentioned, you can have a login for this one, and employee ID will be username and password will be 123456, and you can change once you log in first time. And from here, the restricted options are you can see the reports, you can apply the manual punch, leave, overtime, these three things, and you can see that and then some reports and all the transaction view. So if you have some complaints or if you miss punch, this will be very helpful to access from the home itself, and you can mention the reason of these things. And this is the reporting part. In the reporting part, you can see you can choose the employee on the left side, and you can choose the from date and to date, and you can process the reports based on the calculation on the scheduling part. So there is different formats of report. You can see on the left side, there is different formats. So all these, like you can see more than 15, and it can be exportable in XLS, CSV, PDF, and text format. So it's easy for the monitoring and exporting for some integration, all these things. It will be very helpful. And once you log in, you can see the dashboard, and you can have the option to change the theme, and these are the additional features. So in the dashboard, you can see the first dashboard feature is present and absent. That means it's like a live monitoring of the employees whoever is present and absent. And the second feature is attendance exception. You can have a overall view of like how many late, how many early and absent. So the admin can decide, like he can receive some idea about the attendance statistics instead of going one by one. And the third one, it's having like real-time monitoring, which will be showing the employee ID and the details like from where he punched, mobile app or device, and the check-in status or checkout status. And the fourth one, it's a real-time monitoring part. You can see the data like what is the peak time where the employees are punching. And there is a theme change options, and another attractive option is the multiple tab. Here you can see the multiple tab option means if you open one window, I will show you that one in the software. If you open one window and under the same module, if you want to open the another window, you can open as a multiple tab. You can go back and you can see the other window also instead of closing one. Like other one is once you close, it will be like the new one will be opening as a new feature, new option. But in this one, you can have a multiple tab option. And hidden menu, it's like in every tab you can have an option, like you can see in the picture, like for resignation you can have option reload, pin, reopen, and close current tab, some operation which is hidden on the menu. So this is easy to handle the system. And there is another feature, auto export of the attendance part. So in the auto export, you can see, you can define the details, like what all field you need. You can design the format here, which all field you need, and short date and short time, frequency, like how you want to export the attendance transaction on each day or monthly or weekly, and format Excel or whatever format you need. Um, and the uploading time, like if you want to export the data from this day or from the last day. Okay, and you can have the option, like you can export through FTP or SFTP, and it's convenient for the third party integration to handle all the attendance transaction from our system to their ERP or payroll system. And we have option like backupping the database. You can see in the system, you can see the backupping part, and you can migrate from the one system to another system. The backup you can schedule in the system, like whether you want monthly backup or daily backup or one time backup. And data migration, this is another feature which will be like, if you are existing user of Seki, you are using another biotime or like a different softwares, time attendance software. So if you are using different attendance softwares, you can have anyway, you will be having how to transfer the data from, once you buy this bio, how to handle the data. So you can have a option in the 8.0. If one of these, like CKTime Web 2.0, 7.0, WDMS, or CKTime.NET 3.0, if you are using this four of these, you can handle the data migration using this option. So you just need to map the database. It will migrate the tables as well, as per the new system. Okay. And another part, there is some advanced search options available in the 8.0. So you can see here, you can add the bookmarks, and you can handle the filtering part with the keywords, and some advanced type of searching tools we have. So once you bookmark this one, next time when you open directly, you can use the bookmark for the data filtering. And device logs, these are some additional features which is from the Biotem 7.0. The device log, we can see the device logs like upload log or and whatever happening on the machine side, you can handle here. You can see the status here. And let's go through the mobile application part. So this is the mobile application which is available in Android as well as the iOS. So this is a private cloud system which is transferring the data real time to the system. Like for example, Biotime is the, if Biotime you are using on server side, if some employees working on remote sites where you cannot keep the machine, you can use this mobile app, and there is option to configure the server configuration similar like a device. So at the mobile app you can configure the server IP and port number. So according to that, it will be communicating to the Biotime server in a real time manner. Okay, so you can see here, first page, the check-in is there, check-in is here, and you can see the status of the current location and the status of dashboard. And this is the menu bar. You can see request, all the options are here, request, schedule, and the status of the request, and some attendance transaction view, profile of the employee, and announcements and notifications. All the interfaces, it's a two-step navigation. You need to open so many things, no need to open like that. Just in 2 clicks you will You can see everything. And there is online notification, same like all other application. You also having the attendance exception. Whatever happening on the system, you will be having a real-time notification and update on the system. And when you click on the notification, you will be having a detailed view, which will be helpful like on the approval part and all. And mobile application online requesting part. It's like if you have requesting part on BioTime, same way you can do from the mobile also. So if you are an employee, you want to request some leave, overtime or manual punch, we can handle from the system. So it will be requesting to the BioTime server, and once it's approved, you will be having a status view also. And this is the approval flow. We can see here, as you know, in the BioTime, you will be having multiple level of approvals. The similar thing you can do from the mobile. You can see here, once you click the approval, for example, leave approval, you can see pending approvals and already approved ones. And you can see the rejected one and approved one as a sub tab. And from here, you can revoke or reject or approve whatever you want to do. You can do from here. And if there is multiple level of approvals, you can see in which level it's approved, which level it's not approved. You can see in the last picture, the fourth level is not approved, it's rejected. But until 3 level, it's approved. So you can continue the investigation for this. And the scheduling part, as I mentioned before, we can have the option to view. As an employee, you can see your own schedules on a calendar. So if you want to request this change of schedules due to some issue like urgent work or something, you can change the schedule request. So it will go to your approver. Once it's approved, it will be notified on your mobile application. And these all are the application side. It can be used in government sites, construction sites as portable devices, and chain stores for the rostering part, and commercial offices for the normal attendance, hospitals for the different types of shifting part, and retail and logistics for the multiple branches, and schools and universities to handle the attendance of students as well as the staffs, and banks. Of course, in banks also you can handle the application like in attendance for a centralized attendance. And these are the specification of the software. You can see it's a server based, and templates you can synchronize fingerprint, face, palm, and card, and pin as well. And networking part, you can connect the machines through Ethernet, Wi-Fi, GPRS, 3G, and VPN also it's possible. And its default database is PostgreSQL, and you can configure MS SQL, MySQL, and Oracle. The compatible versions are available here, and it supports the OS, Windows, and the main like suggestible one provided here: 64-bit 7, 8, and 10, and Windows Server 2008, 12, 14, and 16. And the browser version here: IE and Firefox and Chrome. And it can handle up to 1000 push devices, and it's like if more than 400 or 500, we will be designing the server architecture for you. For example, on a single server you can handle up to 500 machines. More than 500 we can handle multiple servers, but it's possible. And this is the specification for the hardware, the server. The CPU minimum this one, the speed 2.5 gigahertz. Memory should be minimum 4 GB, and the space in the C drive and hard disk 100 GB, and the display resolution. That we explain, I can show you. This is the dashboard, and this is the theme part. Okay, and the modules: personal, device, and attendance, and system module. In personal, you can see here, if I open this, you see multiple tabs are opening here. This is the function. So if I go to email settings, I can go back to department as well. So this is the one option we explain, multiple tab. And database backup option, migrate option. You can see here the like you can provide the database of this thing, so it will be migrate the data. And this is for the workflow management to configure the approvals. And this is the device part. You can see the status, whether it's like when it's online or offline, and how much data is available in the machine, and last sync time, all these things. And this is a public message and private message, which is support from the machine. This is the hidden tabs, as I mentioned in the PowerPoint. And mobile app configuration. Same way you can provide the announcement to the mobile app also. Device log, as we mentioned in the PowerPoint, this is the part. We can see the status from the machine, what all data is transferred, like what's happening on the machine. This is the device serial number. Attendance part, you can create the rules, and if you have different company, you can handle department rules. For example, if you want to assign separate for different department, you can handle this. And scheduling part, you can have a option to create the break and timetables. So if you have multiple timetables, you can handle on the scheduling part. This is the temporary schedule. You can see here the temporary schedule window. You can choose the employee ID from the left side, and these are the timetables, and you can just assign to the calendar like this. Okay. And approval part, you can create the manual punch, leave, and overtimes. So if you want to add the leave, you can create the request here, and the start time, end time, and the category of the leave type. Okay. Same way holiday types you can define, and report settings, how you want to display the report part, you can define. And transaction, if one device is broken or there is no network, if you want to upload the USB by the attendance transaction, you can use this option, upload USB transaction. And this is calculation, so every time you can see here, you can process the data based on the changes that you have done on the scheduling part. And this is the reports, you can see here multiple formats, daily attendance, and you can choose the employee from date and to date, and you can see the report values here. Let's move to the system part. On the system, this is the user management. You can create the roles and you can assign to the user. So this is the user, and the role I will show you. You can see here the role creation. So you can assign here user, add or edit, whatever. So based on this idea, the user will get the privilege. And FTP settings and alert for the emails, you can configure here. So it will be based on these settings. Integration part, as I mentioned, the transaction part, you can do the auto export. And here you will get the log, because if you have multiple administrators, you should know whatever happening on different admin. So the super admin can see all the logs here, whatever happened on the system. Okay, so that's all about the system. And the language part, you can set the language here. Currently you can use English, and we are working on Spanish, Chinese, and Russian, and Vietnam. So other than this, if you need any languages, you can contact the people, so the sales guys, they will help you to translate. Okay, so that's all about the system. So if you need any more information on the system, you can just chat on the question, you can put the question on the chat, so I will be helping you for the further clarifications. In the roster part, So in the temporary schedule, you can handle the attendance roster. So for employee 4, this is the timetable, so you can assign the roster. And if this is some short time timetable. If you are looking for the long time, you can use the normal schedule. So which will be giving you, for example, employee 4, shift 9, and auto shift option. And cycle means if you have 2 cycle, it will give you 2 cycle, like Sunday to Thursday or Friday. You can see here timetable and you can assign. So it will repeat every 2 weeks. Okay.